Nutrition labels are written like you need a degree and a magnifying glass. So let me break it down for you because this is the series where nobody taught us and I'm going to teach you. The front of packaging is a lie. It is for marketing. It's supposed to be fun and colorful. It's supposed to grab your attention. It tells you what it is, but it's just supposed to grab you towards it. Always, always, always look at the back. That is where all the information is, not the front. Depending on your plan is going to depend on what you're actually looking for in the nutrition label and the ingredient list. For me, I am strict keto. So I don't do corn, sugar, soy, gluten, or just anything really. It's basically whole foods is all I eat. So you need to figure out what works with your plan, what you want to avoid or consume, and then you will take that knowledge and then base it on your nutrition label. And then when you look at the nutrition label, you're going to see if you want to eat this product or not. So the first thing I look at when I pick up an item to see if I want to consume it is, does it have sugar in it? I am strictly sugar-free. Therefore, any sugar is an automatic nope for me. So I also want to explain that included sugars and total sugars is two different things. For example, this can of tomatoes. Tomatoes is one of those things that creates their own sugar. Included sugar is the one we want to look for. Included sugar means they put sugar in this and then it adds onto the sugar it already creates. So you're intaking a lot of sugar, right? Included sugars is 0. So perfect, there's no sugar added. However, total sugars is 3 grams. Like I said, it's not real sugar. It is, but it's not, right? The second thing I look for is carbs. If they are too high in carbs, I will not consume it. That is because I'm on a 30 carbs or less diet based on my plan with a medical supervision and things like that. So this is 5 grams of carbs. Now, this is per serving size. There's 3.5 servings per container, so about half a cup or 121 grams per serving. So 5 times 3.5, that's the whole can, right? 5 grams of carbs would put this in, I want to eat this in moderation. So if it's too high, I would rather just not have it. The third thing I look for is protein. Obviously, this canned tomatoes doesn't have much protein. It's only 1 gram. However, there is such thing as too much protein. On social media, you see protein, protein, protein. I promise you, you want protein. You don't want too much of it. It creates like the whole thing. I only eat about 100 grams of protein a day. So there again, if it's too much protein, I don't want it. I want to section out my protein throughout the day, right? Calories is another thing. If you are in a calorie deficit like I am, you want to make sure you're not going over your calories. However, it is extremely hard for somebody who eats whole foods and not processed stuff to get to the maximum caloric intake. So I don't focus on calories that much. I eat about 13 to 1400 calories a day. If I'm really binge eating, I'm at like 16. That's not a lot. So I do kind of pay attention to calories, but not so much. Now, I looked at sugars. I looked at carbs. I looked at protein and calories. Let's go to the ingredients. This will make or break anything that I eat. The very first ingredient is what's most in the product. And then as the ingredient list goes down, it's less and less of whatever the item is, right? So the very first ingredient for this is tomatoes. Can of tomatoes, I would hope so, right? Tomatoes and then tomato juice, less than 2% of salt, calcium chloride, citric acid. So I look at all those. That's pretty clean. This is basically tomatoes, water, is the tomato juice, and then a little bit of flavoring and preservative. So perfect, right? It's pretty clean. Same with this can of green beans. It has 0 sugars included, 1 gram of protein. It has 3 grams of carbs. That's why I eat green beans every single day because it's very low in carbs. Ingredients: green beans, water, salt. 3 ingredients. That is it. That's what you want. Now, you know, I drink 2 coffees a day. One is to get my electrolytes in the morning. The second one is to hold off my hunger. These are the coffee syrups that I use. I use 2 different types. I do not have the other type right now, but I use Mateos and Skinny Mix. Basically, same thing. I look for included sugars, 0. Carbs, 0. Protein, 0. I love zeros. Zeros are great. That means I can have more of it. Ingredients, water, natural and artificial flavors. This is where it gets a little sticky, okay? Then we have cellulose gum, we have citric acid, sucralose. We don't need to know what all of this stuff means, but we want to know sucralose is a sweetener. Some people react to it differently than other people. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't knock me out of ketosis. It doesn't give me like a weird aftertaste. So as far as my plan goes, sucralose is okay. As far as Sally Sue's plan goes, it may not be okay. And then we have salt, sodium, blah, 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 blah. That's basically what we're looking for. We want to make sure it doesn't have really weird or hidden ingredients. This one's going to be a twofer. I love both of these brands so much. They're basically the same thing. We have Tillamook, we have Chomps. I keep them on hand all the time. We all know that they're pretty clean ingredients, but let's put them to the test. Let's compare them real time. I haven't done this yet. I'm a little nervous. Okay, Tillamook, beef and pork broth. Perfect. The rest is just some flavorings. There is no sweeteners or anything like that added to it. Perfect. No oils, seed oils, nothing like that. There is 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 9 protein. That's pretty clean. Now, let's look at Chomp. I do understand that that one was pork and beef, and this one is chicken. Let me see if I have a different one. Look at that, I do have a beef one. So let's compare the serving size is 3 sticks for these little minis and 1 stick for the big one. Carb is 0, sugars is 0, protein is 10. So you're actually getting 1 more gram of carb in this one. The ingredients is grass-fed and finished beef, which just means it's a little healthier cow than probably the not other one, right? Water, and then we've got some seasonings, things like that. Nothing weird. Does have lime oil in it. Because this is their new one. I don't know if you've tried it. This one tastes like taco meat with lime, like a street taco. Oh my gosh, it is so good. I love this flavor. All right. And it's stuffed in a beef collagen casing. Pretty clean. I feel like if you're going for convenience, this one comes singly wrapped. You get 1 gram of protein. This one, you get 3 sticks, so it feels like you're eating more. 3 different flavors. Like the Chomps come in flavors, the Tillamook really doesn't. So, but other than that, they're pretty clean. I'm pretty happy with them. Okay, let's move on to non-keto stuff because I just want to show you because not everybody's going to eat as strict as me. I honestly never been a fan of Sun Chips, but anyways, it is 18 grams of carbs. Now, another thing you kind of want to notice is the sodium level. I don't believe there was any. There's 180 milligrams of sodium in this. 290 milligrams of sodium. On my diet specifically, I need a lot of salt, so I don't look at sodium at all. Like the more the merrier. But if you are somebody that watches sodium, like that's sneaky. Who would have thought? Out of everything we've looked at so far, just make sure I get my facts right. Out of everything we've looked at so far, this is the second saltiest food we've looked at. The green beans. Really? These are all each bag is 380 milligrams. This one's 390 per stick. That's a lot of sodium in the meat stick. And then this is the second sodium. Holy cow. This has 20 milligrams. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to start ranking this based on sodium. Just because like it's a sneaky little thing and you would never guess that right there. 70 milligrams of sodium for this, 18 grams of carbs. But let's look at the ingredients, right? Corn. Corn is something that will mess with your digestive system. So I am corn free. But some people like corn. Vegetable oil, another thing that wrecks your insides. This one also has wheat and grains and sugar, and then corn maltodextrin. Maltodextrin is a sugar. So sugar comes in 100 different names. You need to learn the different names of sugar if you are going to be sugar free. So sugar and then corn sugar, basically, cheddar cheese, some seasonings, tons of seasonings. Love a seasoning. Some more cheese. So, I mean, corn, vegetable oil, wheat, and sugar. That is the first 4 ingredients for this. 70, so that would go, so make sure I get it right. Highest sodium to lowest sodium. Back in the day, these were one of my favorite cookies. Loved them. So good, especially like the big chunk ones. Okay. All right, let's break this down. 2 cookies is a serving. And then we have 170 calories, 110 milligrams of sodium, 22 carbs. I could eat 2 cookies and blow my whole carb credit for the day. That's crazy. But it has total sugars is 11, included sugars is 11 grams. So that means all the sugar in here is added. Okay, ingredients. We have flour, blah, 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 tons of flour. We have some palm oil, sugar, and then the fudge chips, and they break that down. That's sugar as well, and also oil. For the ingredients, we have flour, blah, 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 oil, sugar, blah, blah, blah. Dextrose. Dextrose is another one. Maltodextrin and dextrose are forms of sugar. So it's just one of those things, like they're kind of in everything. So you want to make sure you're sugar free, you don't consume those items as well. It has more soy, it has flavorings, it has more oil. There's so many different types of oil in this. Wow, that's crazy. More soy, high fructose corn syrup, more soy. Okay, there's a lot of soy in this. No sodium, these are the same, and then it gets lower and lower down to 20 milligrams of sodium. So I don't know if that surprised you, because I really thought these were going to be higher in sodium, but actually those are. So that's how you break down the nutrition label and the ingredients list. I feel like if you look at nothing else on the back of a label, look at the ingredient list. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. I find myself going through that more than the nutrition label, but the nutrition label is great for like at a glance. But if you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. Also, I have got my website up. It is full of links, free links, just for you, with a grocery list and anything else you could possibly want. So hit that up. I now have socials for you guys. I'm going to link down in the description. So let's talk. Ask me your questions. Let me help you through this journey.